14th, Valentine's Day 2026. And this is the Psychic and Cable News Roundup by Jaynee. That's me. The big news this week was the survivors were in the audience while Pamela Joe Bondi, the Attorney General, was testifying. And she was testifying. She was talking about how wonderful, what a great president Trump is. And she called a couple of the Congress people names and barely answered any questions. When the survivors were asked who wanted to talk to her, they all raised their hands. She did not turn around. Um, she did not recognize them, and they said no, that no one had ever spoken with them, and they had not been called by the FBI. They they have been ignored. Um, okay. Um, okay. So she didn't look at them. Um, the survivors' names, addresses, and phone numbers, not all of them, but because there are about 1,000, have been revealed in the Jeffrey Epstein's emails. They that information was not crossed out, but the names of the abusers was. Not every abuser, some were revealed. Trump's name, I think, has been, well, it's been in the files about 38,000 times. Midas reports that it was 38,000 times. So sometimes it was revealed and sometimes not. It is, well, there is a report from a young woman from when she was 13, I think. Excuse me, that she was raped by him. But so far, I think that might be, I don't know if that's it or not. Um, he was, the emails reveal that he was there. If the calendar girl thing is true, then he was there, but we don't know. The young women have not testified to it, so we really don't know if the calendar girl event really happened or not. It hasn't. One of them had called the FBI and had given that information, but it wasn't followed up. Um, okay. ICE. ICE is being called back out of Minneapolis. Uh, it, it, no one really knows what made the difference. I don't think it was the people who live in Minneapolis um, fighting to get them out of there. We just don't know. Um, the government is buying warehouses all over the United States to put people they pick up in. Um, they will have prisons for 10,000 people. Each prison, they're going to make the warehouses into prisons and they will hold 10,000 people each. Um, the Congress people are concerned about once they send people who are illegal here back to their countries, who's going to go into those privately owned prisons? And by the way, there was no competition as far as who was going to get them. It seems like it's Trump's friends. By the way, while I'm saying this is all my opinion. It's all for entertainment purposes, but mainly my opinion, what I got from the news, um, doesn't mean that it's true. It's as true as I can make it, but it doesn't mean that it would, that it is exactly the way that I'm saying it. I'm trying, that's all. And again, it's my opinion. Um, okay, so they're buying all these big buildings, and Shapiro is one of the. I mean, there a lot of the governors are freaking out about it. They don't want them, um, and you know, it's all horrible. They're attacking people, and a lot of the people they've been here for 20, 30 years, have children, have families, and while yes, they should have become citizens, they did not, and they thought they would be okay, and they're not, and they're being thrown out whether they ever did anything against the law or not. I know one young woman came from Ireland, and she passed two bad checks back in the 80s, not recently. And she was in prison for 4 months, I think, because of that. And then someone who came here from, I forget where, a similar store. Oh, no, she stole some stuff from a clothing store. Not a lot. And I think she's still in prison. Um, Not everybody has done anything against the law and they're in those prisons. They simply aren't actual citizens. So it's within the law to do that, but they're they're not being taken to their original countries immediately. They're being thrown in jail for as long as ICE feels it's necessary. And then the same thing is happening with American citizens. It's not easy to get out of there. We don't carry around our passports. Um, I hope that it doesn't become necessary. If if Trump has his way and he gets that new law passed where people, in order to vote, have to show either their what do you call it, birth certificate, that it would be that name, or their passport. It, otherwise, you can't vote. So if you are a trans person and have been a trans person for 40 years, and you were a man but you were originally a woman, well, tough luck, because you're not going to be able to vote. And if you got married and you used your husband's name and you've been married for 30 years, well, they're tough luck, you can't vote because your name will not match your birth certificate. That's how it is. So I'm hoping the law does not pass. It's something new that's up for grabs right now. Um, by the way, also up for grabs, um, we have, where are they? Oh, we've got two giant ships right near Iran. Why are we involved with Iran? We are not, in case you didn't notice, Iran isn't next door. Iran is over there in the Middle East. I understand Trump is for the protesters, not here. He will send ICE to beat the hell out of you. But over there, he's for the protesters. I don't know what we're doing in Iran, and I don't know what we're doing in Venezuela either. I don't know if we're still bombing people in their boats and killing them. I don't know what we're doing. We are in charge of the Venezuelan oil. I didn't know Venezuela was a part of the United States. I knew that Puerto Rico was. Not Iran and not Venezuela. Okay. Um, In those prisons, in the ICE prisons, children are in there. A lot of children, and I don't know if they're by themselves. Some are. There was a girl at 14 who tried to slit her wrists yesterday because it's horrible. They're sleeping on the floor with the rodents and the insects. The food is really bad, dirty, and there's no medicine. Originally, the VA had a deal with ICE, and they would take care of the medicine, but then people thought that that was taking money away from veterans. So that stopped. It wasn't actually taking money away from, it wasn't taking anything away from veterans. It was an extra contract. So it is stopped, and there just isn't any substitute. Um, okay. So I have been reading that it's really dirty and horrible. People are, you know, just totally freaked. Uh, okay. Um, oh, okay. I follow I follow dog rescues. I love dogs. So what I'm seeing is that people in California, especially near Downey, are breeding and adopting German Shepherds. Please understand, they are smart dogs. The smartest dogs are Border Collies, um, Labrador Retrievers, German Shepherds, and Poodles. They're all really smart dogs. I'm sorry they will not cook. They do not clean up after themselves. They still need to be trained. It takes at least a day or two to train them. When you get them, they're babies, they're puppies, they don't know anything. And when they are left in rescues, because they're working dogs and smart dogs, they fall apart. They can't cope with it. They need jobs. So, I mean, seriously, they are very smart dogs. Sometimes when they're puppies, they're wild. Puppies are wild. Um, Malinois dogs, which look just like German Shepherds, they have a longer snout, and maybe they don't. They are even more energetic than German Shepherds, and they're big dogs. So when you get them, if you have a 3-year-old grandchild or 2 years old, and the grandchild's walking around, the dog will knock it over. They don't mean to. They're very affectionate dogs, but they don't understand that we're not dogs, that we're different, and that we fall over. Don't send your 4-year-old out to walk, a, even a puppy, but a full grown German Shepherd. It's just really not good. We're not getting them in the east. They're staying out west. We can't get them here. They probably would be adopted here, but they're not getting here. So, okay, psychic news. Um, I listen to Sterling and Susan Lynn. I listen to both of them every week, as many times as they're on. I watch them. Susan Lynn is very honest and like right there. She doesn't use cards. She doesn't use anything. It comes to her head, or she doesn't get it. Um, she doesn't see an end in sight. I don't pick that up from her that she sees an end. Um, it's just that way. We have to focus on ourselves and our families because there really isn't an end. Um, okay, I saw Trump on a Midas Midas rather video, and he was in the middle of a talk, and he faltered. He was saying blah, 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 blah. It looked to me, who has had no medical training, um, I'm educated, but I'm not a nurse or a doctor. And it looked to me like small strokes. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Um, I'm retired, when I used to work, I worked with people with strokes, but wasn't while they were having strokes. And anyway, um, it did look very different from anything else. Um, so while he is faltering, Stephen Miller, who is long known as a monster, who really is a white supremacist, very weird. Uh, he and Russell Voigt are in charge more than anyone else. We didn't elect them, but they're in charge. Trump is still talking about Greenland, Cuba. Cuba, in the 50s, um, middle class people would go there, and it was just a great place to vacation. They loved it. And then came Fidel Castro. Um, he wasn't talking about Haiti. I don't think he wants, I think he likes white people, period. And that it would not include Italians, Jews, Middle Easterners. It would just include like Scandinavians, Germans, like him. Um, is Anyway, and he still doesn't know that Puerto Rico is a state and that many Americans speak Spanish. Um, mm, a lot of Americans do not know that Spanish is spoken widely, especially in California or places, um, in the United States. Anyway, that is it. Thank you very much for listening. I love to hear from you. I found some messages yesterday, which was really thrilling, and I hope that I find more today. Again, happy Valentine's Day. Have a lovely evening. And if you're just watching television, don't feel bad. It's a day, you know? Just be good to yourself. Make yourself something nice to drink or to eat, okay? From this old person right here. Um, Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Um, Push the buttons. Subscription doesn't cost anything. Nothing here. For me, nothing costs anything. I don't charge anything. Nothing. So if you want to talk to me, write to not messages, I'm sorry. If you want to talk to me, write to Spiritsbyjaynee at gmail.com. You can ask whatever you want about to talk. I can talk to animals and people on the other side. There's a lot that I can't do, like find your keys, but talking to spirits, yeah, I can do that. And write to me. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a lovely night. Bye bye now. Maybe it'll do it. Hang you down, skin. There we